The National Popular Vote Interstate Compact would guarantee the presidency to the candidate who receives the most popular votes in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. Defenders of the current system of electing the president have suggested that the presidential vote count might be, quote, incomplete, inaccurate, or simply unavailable, unquote, prior to the meeting of the Electoral College in mid-December, because rogue state officials might not, quote, finalize their vote counts until well after their electors have met and voted, unquote. This scenario, to have any political effect, would have to occur in a state that would produce a large enough popular vote margin to flip the presidency from the candidate receiving the most popular votes nationwide to the second-place candidate preferred by the rogue state official. The first flaw in Sean Parnell's scenario is that a state's presidential electors could not have, quote, met and voted, unquote, before official finalization of the vote count in that state, because it is the official finalization of the vote count that establishes who has been elected to the position of presidential elector. Second, there is an existing law in every state providing a statutory deadline for certification of the popular vote count for president at the local level, state level, or both by a specific date, long before the meeting of the Electoral College in mid-December. Typical existing state laws, such as Connecticut's, require an official count to be finalized at the local level within hours after the polls close. Indeed, these local level counts are added together and broadcast by the media on a statewide and nationwide basis. Existing state laws also require an official finalization of vote counts at the state level long before the meeting of the Electoral College in mid-December. Because a rogue state official's refusal to certify his own state's popular vote count would disenfranchise all the voters in that official state, voters favoring the about-to-be disadvantaged candidate would readily obtain a court order compelling compliance with state law, with no credence given whatsoever to the disingenuous political spin offered by politically motivated officials. Third, in addition to state laws, existing federal law requires states to create a certificate containing the popular vote count for president prior to meeting of the Electoral College. Again, voters favoring the about-to-be disadvantaged candidate would readily obtain a court order compelling compliance with the federal law. If Parnell's hypothetical scenario were legally possible under national popular vote, it would of course also be possible in presidential elections held under existing state winner-take-all laws. For example, in 2000, there were 8 states that George W. Bush carried with a Democratic Secretary of State. Even after George W. Bush was credited with Florida's electoral votes, any one of these 8 states possessed enough electoral votes which, if not cast in the Electoral College, would have given a majority of the presidential electors appointed, and hence the presidency, to the candidate who had received the most popular votes nationwide. Of course, we know this did not happen. Fourth, although existing state and federal laws are sufficient to prevent Parnell's hypothetical scenario, the National Popular Vote Compact actually provides an additional assurance to voters in every state that their votes will be counted towards the presidential candidate of their choice. Legally mandated, publicly available official counts for president exist in at least 2 separate places in every state long before the meeting of the Electoral College in mid-December, including at the level of local government where the votes were actually counted, and at the state-level office to which the local counts are transmitted prior to certification at the state level. Any of these official counts could, if necessary, be used to determine the number of votes cast for each presidential candidate in the rogue official states. The reality is that presidential elections in the United States do not depend on the gracious willingness of individual ministerial officials to comply with both state and federal law. Learn more at nationalpopularvote.com and from the book, Every Vote Equal, a state-based plan for electing the president by national popular vote, which can be read or downloaded for free or purchased from Amazon. You can help make 2016 the last presidential election in which 3/4 of Americans are ignored in presidential elections by emailing your state legislators at nationalpopularvote.com.